All right, so I'm going to record this demo and just getting started here. And I did the drawing of the waterfall, and then I've just started getting some of the colors in, and now I'm going to really just kind of push the color quicker and faster just to loosen myself up. I'm going to use some, I see some burnt umber in there. I see lots of olive green. And by the way, if you don't have olive green, you can take sap green and add yellow ochre to it, and you're going to be heading that direction. It'll start to give you the feel of that. So darker down here. Let's start getting in some of these colors into these rocks. So I'm trying to go with the lighter colors first, and then I'll come in and do the shadows. So here comes this rock here, this one here. And again, I'm going to go kind of fast. I see a little rock here. There's going to be, and I really do love these plants coming into it too. So I'm just going to do a hint of the plants real quick, because they're in front of the waterfall. So we're kind of looking through these plants to the waterfall. So it's kind of a fun visual thing for your eye to sort of go explore the waterfall, but you have to kind of look through the branches to see it in a sense, so that's sort of why I think I like that. I think it's got a neat feeling to it. So again, I'm doing a very fast version of this. Oh, look at this cute one right here coming over this way. And then there's even a funny little green plant on this one right here, just coming off the end of this, kind of dipping down this way. All right, here comes the bigger shapes. We're going to just start knocking those out. It's funny, the rocks really do appear to get grayer as you go up. There's all this rich color down here, and then you've got a lot more grays and blues up above. So I'm going to start doing that transition. Here comes a lighter gray coming in this way. There's going to be a here. I'm going to leave the edge of that a little bit white. Again, this rock's coming right here. There's rocks all over here, all coming in over here. Edge of that and then there. This is a rock right here, with a little bit of water coming over the top of it. I think I'm just going to pretend that the water's coming around it. I can do that if I want. And then we're going to put this rock here. Now you're starting to see the shape of the water through the rocks, correct? Yes. It was me who said the yes. Have I lost you?
Oh, we're here.
Okay, thank you. And then we can start to fill in some of this over here. We've got this gray right here, a little bit more brown. And it gets nice and dark right here where this waterfall comes over the edge. Keep it nice and juicy right here. This goes very dark over here. We can even make it darker as we further in. And then we've got this, it's funny, it's a kind of funny color back there, but here's more water coming down back there. And then, so that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to work the bigger shapes of rocks first and all of that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to start refining it. So I want to get this corner locked down as well. So as the it dries, and you could hit it with a hair dryer to speed things up. Then you're going to come in with the darker colors, and you're going to start finding some simple shapes within those rocks. You don't have to paint every crack. Just try more than anything this week to capture the essence of what it is you're looking at. So for example, on this one, this turns into a couple of rocks over here. So this kind of goes like this. This is a little underneath this rock, but we get that nice rich color right there. This breaks up over here a little bit. This one is several rocks over here, and it's still pretty wet, but I'm going to go in. It actually wants to be dry, but hey, I've got it right here. Hold on. And we're just going to start finding some of the cracks in the rock. and start separating some of these rocks apart from each other and finding the dark parts of the rocks where the light's going around them.
You're using raw umber?
This is raw umber with a little bit of Payne's gray in it.
Okay.
Is what I've been using for this. And then this rock goes like this. So it starts turning into a group of rocks rather than a single shape. And then the same thing over here. I'm going to use a little bit more Payne's gray as we go further back, but we can come over here and we can start delineating some of the rocks from each other by putting in the shadows that we see for the different rocks. It's still pretty wet, but I think you get it. Here, and then this goes dark right here, actually. And that way, there's the edge of that rock. And that one, this gets real dark through there. And then this gets really rich down here. And this goes this way.
Oh, wow.
Right? It starts to really break it into rocks, different rocks, you know, all of a sudden. And then you can do the whole splatter thing on the rocks to give them a little more texture. If I do that, I would cover the water a little bit so it splatters not everywhere. And then, or you can just add some salt to those rocks to give them a little more texture as while it's still wet. But then one of the things I will do once the painting has had a chance to really dry is I'm going to take just a clear water on a brush. I'm going to bring it up next to these edges and I'm going to soften those edges. And that's going to give the sense of the water moving. Now all of a sudden that you feel that water moving. And I know it's going to be hard to see, but I'm going to hold this up in a moment. There, I can do it right here. So you kind of feel the water rushing by and it's moving fast. So it's a little out of focus.
You got to do that while the edges are still somewhat wet.
No, you can actually wet the dry paint and then you can get that sort of, because this was mostly dry, but you can just wet that edge and just lift a little bit on that edge. And now all of a sudden that's a little blurry and the blurriness makes us feel the movement of the water. The rocks aren't blurry, but the water edge is. So you get that sense of movement. All right, so that's what we're going to be painting now. I'll keep working on this, but I think you've got the sort of how I'd get started and you can find a way that you might get started. But I'm going to ask you to be juicy and it's going to happen pretty quick, guys. So yeah, like really fast. So you've got just 20 minutes. We're going to take a quick look at these and then it's going to be, and then I'll set you free with your assignment and all of that kind of stuff. So let me put the picture on the screen. So I'm going to change cameras first things first. Oh, I've got to stop recording.